You're about to see a lot more Rivians on America's roads. Just last week, we learned of Rivian's production and delivery results of the fourth quarter of 2023, and although on the surface they were disappointing to Wall Street, they certainly highlight some important trends coming in the future of this innovative new startup. In the fourth quarter of 2023, the company delivered around 13,900 vehicles and produced around 17,500. This actually results in a gap between production and delivery at the highest level since the company started producing vehicles at the end of 2021. However, despite this, the company did beat its full-year production goal of more than 54,000 vehicles by hitting a target of 57,232. This number is more than double last year's number of 24,337 deliveries in the same time frame. However, despite this rampant growth during a time of high interest rates and a dwindling EV market, many people are concerned about whether or not Rivian can continue selling more vehicles of the same product going into 2024, given just how much competition is coming on the market today. So what exactly makes Rivian special in the EV race, and how exactly will they set themselves apart in the race towards cheaper EVs? Well, folks, that question is exactly what I'm going to address in this video. But as usual, guys, before we get into it, make sure to drop me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. As you can see, the company is growing very healthily. However, the gap between its production and deliveries has increased to essentially the widest gap we have seen since the company went public. Although for any traditional OEM, this would be a sign of rising inventory and potential price cuts coming, this was actually forecasted by the company well ahead of time in its third quarter earnings report. As it turns out, folks, Amazon doesn't like taking deliveries of new electric delivery vans during the holiday season. And because Amazon's biggest supplier of those electric vans is Rivian, Rivian was essentially faced with the tough decision of having to build an inventory of these vehicles instead of delivering them at the right time. As a matter of fact, the company now has probably more than 15,000 Amazon delivery vans now on the road, and an inventory of more than 500 sitting in a parking lot in Normal, Illinois. And perhaps the most important growth catalyst to look forward to next year is the new commercial product the company is launching on the same platform that was developed with Amazon. Because as it turns out, not only are electric vans much, much better for the environment, but in some cases they're actually cheaper to operate, a lot easier to drive, and obviously a lot easier to maintain. And this right here, folks, is exactly what ties into the appeal of Rivian's product. Although for many people this isn't the best looking or the most well-equipped truck for the price point of almost $80,000, it certainly creates a really good image of what the truck of the future will look like. A mixture of cutting-edge technology, rugged design, as well as software integration is what makes Rivian, and its particular appeal to people who want to take adventures and use their trucks for exactly what they're built for, which is exactly what you need in a space as competitive as electric vehicles today. Rivian's R1S and R1T products for the 2024 year model are expected to now use a Max Pack battery pack, which is essentially a lithium phosphate technology system that provides range of potentially almost 410 miles on a single charge and by using less energy. But none of that is really the exciting part about Rivian's growth story today, because the real catalyst for the company's growth and profitability is going to happen when they launch the $40,000 to $50,000 model in the Rivian R2. The launch of this kind of product is exactly what's going to solidify Rivian's mark in the history books of the automotive world. If they're able to successfully launch this vehicle in 2026 and produce it in its new factory in Georgia, it'll certainly catalyze growth for the company at a pace we probably have not seen in a very, very long time. And that, in my opinion, folks, is exactly what Rivian's goal really is. Short-term headwinds will obviously fluctuate with what the market and the economy does. In the long term, though, the company's main focus is increasing production, regardless of what's going on in the market, because at the end of the day, that's going to reduce their cost of goods sold the most and allow them eventually to launch a cheaper product in the R2, similar to what Tesla did with the Model 3 and the Model Y. But as usual, folks, that's just my take on the situation. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below of Rivian's latest production and delivery output, as well as what the company has in store for 2024. As usual, folks, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.